Okay, folks, so it's Anthony back on Meadowbrook Circle. We finished this house today. Keep in mind, folks, it is already about 50 degrees cooler than our summer temperatures, between 50 and 60 degrees cooler. So our days are shorter, and guys are not moving at the speed that they were in July. Remember, we're never going to compromise quality for speed. You know, we just basically sealed in this garage portion and came back today to complete that. You can see that is now done and beautiful. You can see that ridge vent has been installed throughout the ridge length over the garage and then up onto the main. You remember this roof had a 3-tab shingle. So like many other homes with 3-tab shingles, see all those missing on the dormer? Was riddled with wind damage. Those 3-tab packages come with just a basic 15-pound roof felt. There is no ventilation, and 15-pound roof felt is certainly not the proper underlayment in this area in the Northeast. If you remember, this ridge was all torn up, so we had water coming in here. We had a bunch of lumber that we had to replace on this front side. Whoever was the last roofer did not have the lower plane wound up 2 feet under this higher plane, and the higher plane overlapping, and a nice tight razor sharp line. If you remember, the last person had this higher plane wrapped under the lower, and in this valley was about a 2-inch gap, so all the water that was pouring down the valley was just working its way back behind the shingles. Like I said, no ice and water in the valleys, no synthetic paper, just a 15-pound roof felt. So it wound up that this whole front side, most of it, the lumber on the bottom needed to be changed. On this back side, even though we were in the attic initially, we couldn't find any water damage. But in everywhere that there was a pipe, where the pipe's coming through a board here, there, and there, you can see there are new pipe collars on. These last pipe collars were not installed correctly. So on the top side, right, you had the rubber cracking. The water's just filling in there, like a bowl, basically. So it was wearing through the top side. Hadn't made its way to the bottom, so it could not be seen in the attic. So all being said, the 3-tab shingle is now removed. We stripped down to the roof deck. Every area that we were aware of, precautiously viewing the underside, has been changed, and then every other area that we came about, was changed as well. Now again, typically we would spray these pipes like you could see they are, and these vents. However, we don't spray vents black when they're metallic if we are on a natural shaded roof. Only if we were on like a dark charcoal, a mid-gray cobblestone to darker, like a charcoal black, would we do that. So in the end, the roof has now been updated to a Landmark Pro max definition version of the Rashawn Shake shingle. You can see it looks like sun-bitten tobacco in all different shades, some blondes to nice whiskeys in there. It's done perfectly. So everything that you would expect this roof to be, these valleys are razor sharp, done correctly. Ice and water in the valleys. We have ice and water from the eaves to 36 inches, also up along the rakes, starter shingles along the eave and the rake. And then we have synthetic paper from 36 inches all the way up to the ridge. We have certainteed ridge vent installed throughout every single ridge space in the property, even the garage. So it's a, total revamp. By my estimate, there's probably about 225 feet of downspout and gutter. And that would really be a nice upgrade, especially with the prices of metal going down right now. So that's something I'll look to talk to these homeowners about, because it's a cheap way that they can really, shore up the longevity of all of the soffit and headboard and the things that are still going to take the water, which again, this roof's not going to suck any water up. This roof is now going to disperse everything that hits it correctly. So those gutters are going to get work. A lot of that was making its way behind the shingle and essentially not down to the gutter. So, yeah, just one final video to see. We're at just about dusk right now. You can see the positioning of the sun, and it is December, about 2 weeks before Christmas. So We had some rain this week, and then we had to wait for temperatures to get up to 40. Luckily, that was the first day after the rain on Thursday, and then took the part of today on Friday to complete. So we're all finished now in Sicklerville on E Meadowbrook Circle, and that makes 1, 2, and 3 since July. We did the Burns, we did the Brooks, and now we did the Vegas. And we would love to speak to the neighbors on this block. Goodness gracious, the ones that haven't had the re-roofs. This guy here with all those missing shingles on the dormers. That guy as well. It's not even a question. If I get the opportunity to meet the insurer's adjuster on behalf of that homeowner, that roof gets replaced at no cost to the homeowner. It's classic by definition wind damage, which can be seen approximately 150 yards away. So it doesn't get any better. Once I inspect and get up, to look up close, I can tell you that, especially on a shingle that dark, which, when the granules wear off and the creasing just exposes a color, the asphalt, which is almost as dark as the shingles. So, yep, just wanted to give you last final look, and we are complete here in Sicklerville.